Okay, addressing the off-road lighting situation here. This is a solution that I came up with that I'm just really excited about, so I had to share it. And bought a Honda CR450R, of course, a motocrosser, and riding it enduroizing it, making it a good enduro bike, and just didn't have the several $100s it was going to take for the lighting stator and the headlight and all that stuff. So trying to come up with a lower budget solution, came across this LED light made by Magicshine, European company, I think, about 120 bucks online, not too expensive. That's the battery and the light, and it's 1400 lumens. And if you know how many lumens that is, if you know LEDs, that's a flippin' lot of lumens. So it's pretty bright and it shines pretty far. So I was pretty excited about it, ordered it, tried to mount it on my Honda. There's just no way to mount it where it was shining straight, no easy way that I could figure out. It comes with a little, it's more of a mountain bike light. It's engineered for mountain biking. Has a little piece on the bottom here. If you ignore this part that I have mounted right now, it had a little piece of metal here on the bottom that comes off with a little rubber tab on the bottom so that you could set it on top of a handlebar and shine it down the road, and it had a little rubber band that you wrap around the handlebar and connect on the other side. So that worked well for mountain biking. Didn't work well for the Honda because the motocross bars are all tapered back, and of course has a crossbar, so there's no real good place to mount it. And so I'd mount it to the handlebar and it'd shine all crooked, and I'd hit a bump and it'd fall down, so it just wasn't working well at all. Tried to come up with another solution. These parts right here are GoPro parts, actually, for a GoPro camera. You can buy, you don't have to buy the camera, you can just buy the kit of mounting parts. It's like 19 bucks at Walmart or anywhere they sell GoPro cameras. It's called a grab bag of parts. Just like that, a grab bag of parts, and it's got a bunch of different stuff in it to mount your GoPro all kinds of directions, any kinds of crazy positions. It comes with a little bitty couple of these mounting tabs rather, and you'll want to use the tapered one or whatever shape that is, so it mounts to your helmet better. And then so we use that piece. This piece right here is actually one of the mounting pieces. It actually has 3 tabs. The original one does. So there's one there, and one right here that I ground off. So I ground off the 3rd one right here. Took out the one screw that holds that little bracket in for the mountain bike mount. Took that off, and then replaced their screw with this. It's just a metric bolt. That's actually a grade 8 bolt. A little overkill, I'm sure. But I Loctited it, threaded it in, and tightened it down a little bit. And then the back end was the difficult part. I didn't know what to do, and maybe you guys come up with a better idea than I did. There's just no real way to stabilize the back end, so it's swiveling around and flopping up and down. So I just drilled a hole right here, all the way through, ran some safety wire through, ran it around the top. This is all aluminum, so it's pretty strong stuff. And not too heavy. I mean, maybe a tiny bit heavier than my GoPro, but it's not noticeable on top of your helmet. Not riding with it all day, of course, just at night, just to get me out kind of thing anyway. So not too heavy. I should have weighed it so I can give you an idea. Anyway, so that's kind of redneck, but it's working. So now to mount it, just slide it in the GoPro mount. That's how easy it is. Take it out of my pack, slide it in, click, it's on. I don't use my GoPro at night anyway because it just doesn't do well at night. Now, this is all, I put all the stuff on the left side so I can use my throttle hand while I'm riding, reach up with my left and adjust it if I need to. And I usually don't tighten this down super tight. I'll tighten it down just enough so that if I want to adjust it while I'm riding, I can reach up and just move it up or down a little bit. It's not a big deal. As far as the rest of this goes, all this wiring, lots of options. They leave lots of wiring, so there's lots of options. I already have some Velcro on here for the quick strap, so I can throw my goggles up and just mount it. Get the goggles out of the way so they're not flopping around and getting scratched. So I already have that Velcro there, so I'm just capitalizing on that. Just put a little bit of Velcro on the back of the switch, redneck style, with a little bit of safety wire. A little bit of Velcro right there. The cable's long enough to give you lots of options to put the battery in. Now, as far as mounting this, it's too heavy for your helmet. Don't try to put it on your helmet. I just put it through the top grab strap on my backpack. I run this through there, Velcro it around, and it just sits right there on top of my backpack and hangs on that. I guess some backpacks have that little shade pocket on the top. You could drop that on top of there. You could probably Velcro it to the top of your chest protector. So I just didn't want the weight on my head because it's a little weighty. It's not too bad. So then, as far as this Magicshine goes, it's kind of nice because the colors kind of give you an idea of where you're at. Green, pretty much full power. I think blue is 75%. Orange or yellow is less than, somewhere around 50 or something, and red is 25% of power left. So three setting options as far as your options for lighting go. You can turn on the two outer ones with the first button. The second time you hit it, it just lights turns those off and lights the middle one. If you hit it a third time, it lights all three of them. And that's where the 1400 lumens come from, where all three of them are on. Magicshine advertises that it'll run for 250 hours on its lowest setting. So I think what they mean by that is one of these, like either this one or these two on, and on its dimmed down setting. I'll show you how to do that in just a second. It'll run 2 to 3 hours, though, they advertise, on a full battery charge with all three of these on full power. And I can attest to that. I've ridden close to 2 hours with them on full blast, and it was still shining just as bright. I bought a backup battery for it. It's like 30 bucks for an extra battery, and I carry that with me when I know I'm going to be riding at night. When we're going out late and we're leaving late and we know we're going to be riding back in the dark, I'll take that extra battery with me just in case. So here's the first setting, and that's full power with just the two Star Trek looking light things on. There's the middle one, and then one more hit of the switch is all three. And then you can push the button and hold it, and it'll step the light down. Okay, and then you can select that to off, outer on the lowest setting, middle on the lowest setting, and then all three on the lowest setting. And if you want to step it back up, you just push it and hold it, and it'll step back up. Okay, super bright. And dude, I mean bright. It is super, super bright. We got lost in Moab when, well, we're not really lost in Moab, but we just kind of ran out of light, and there was a dust storm, so it got dark on us quicker than we thought it would, and you know, had an hour and a half ride back to the truck. We got kind of lost on the way, so we ended up backtracking, and took a little while to get back to the truck. I ran this on full beam the whole time, and super, super bright. I was able to ride back daylight speed the whole way back to the truck. That's how bright it is. It shines so far, and the beam is so wide, you can ride pretty much wide open. My buddies that were riding with me had their headlights on their bikes, you know, 35, 45 watts, I think. Not super bright. You just can't keep when you're eating up the terrain at 40, 50 miles an hour, you know, you want to be able to see what's coming up. And if you're going too fast for your light, you can outrun your light. This I could not run. You know, I'm riding at my maximum speed that I'm comfortable with, not because I can't see, because that's as fast as I want to ride. So, and it's so bright that if you're riding behind somebody, or if somebody has this light and is riding behind you, like if this light is right here and you're riding in front, it is so bright and it casts such a bright light around the rider in front on both sides that it makes what's right in front of the rider look like a big shadow, and it looks dark and you can't see what's right in front of you because it's so bright. So one of my buddies that was riding with us wouldn't let us ride behind him when we had these on. So, because he's just said, I can't see what's in front of me. It's too bright. So again, Magicshine, I think MJ-816 is the model number. And they make a few options. I don't know how many models they make, but they do make one that I was considering getting. And I don't remember the model number, but it doesn't have these Star Trek looking things on the side. It just has this light right here. I think it's 800 or 900 lumens. Can't remember exactly. That's still a super, super lot of light. And it's a little bit cheaper. I think it's 80 or 90 bucks for that, and then the battery. So not a bad investment. What I like about it, now that I ride an enduro bike that's a true enduro bike, a gas that has a headlight on it, I still use this because it's just so much brighter than the headlight. It just lights up everything and lights it up so far. And then when I want to look at something on the side, like a trail that goes that way, I can look at a sign over there, turn my head, and just point it wherever I want, and I can see exactly what I want, whatever I'm looking at. So it's not a big investment. Again, about 110, 120 bucks for the light, 20 bucks for the GoPro grab bag of parts, and it's either great primary backup light to get you out of the woods, or an accessory light to your dirt bike. So it's been a good investment for me. I've been really pleased. I've had it for about 3 years probably now. I've used it 3 times, and one time I've used it for about 2 hours, and it was still just as bright at the end as when we started out. So really pleased with it.